Fluffy solved the entire water problem in Flint. I just went down to the sewer and put a Brita filter.
Genius.
Why did no one else think of this?
Why didn't anybody do that?
Hi. Welcome to episode 2 of the Kingz.
Perfect. Actually, that's a great intro.
You know what? Yeah.
That
Maybe
is a
great
great...
That's the intro.
Yes.
That's the intro.
Oh,
Fuck. Kingz After Dark episode fucking 2.
Numero dos.
Number 2. Numero dos. Welcome back, fellas.
We're here.
Hello again.
I'm happy to be back.
We're all happy to be back.
Mm-hmm. Second week.
Second tweak. Week number 2.
Second tweak.
Second tweak. Oh, boy.
BJ can only see your legs.
They can't only see your legs. That's okay. It gives them the full picture that they didn't get last week because they can only see his head.
Is this going to be a problem?
No, it'll be okay.
Right.
I guess I'm going to tighten it up anyway.
Right.
So anywho, I want to start this episode off with a would you rather. And it's funny, I actually got this particular would you rather from the other podcast I listened to a ton. I was listening to them when I went to go get food, and it brought up a really interesting dilemma. So the would you rather is, would you rather know when every one of your loved ones is going to die? Or would you rather have, and I'm going to slightly edit it, would you rather have a 1% chance at all times of finding a dead corpse in your closet?
A 1% chance.
At all times of finding a dead corpse, I would want to know when all my loved ones are going to die.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to take that 1% chance.
Don't want that 1% chance.
Just waking up one day, it's like, oh, dude, just showered, going into your closet, boom, you're tripping over a dead corpse
Over
of
a
a
fucking
random
dead
person.
corpse. Even if I say it's a one, like every day there's a 1% chance.
I don't actually care about the 1% chance. I just want to know when all my loved ones are going to die.
Wow.
Whoa.
Just the power that automatically gives you.
Fair.
I got to strategize.
You now have to strategize. What if you have to strategize?
Do you tell your family members that you know, or do you just like use it like when you need to, or like at?
I probably wouldn't, but like if, let's say, my sister's gonna get uploaded to the cloud, and she'll be immortal, but my grandpa's gonna die in 3 years. Like I'll spend more time with my grandpa, and my sister can fuck off. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Fair.
I have a limited amount of time. I have a limited attention span. Like,
and you'll know that your family members have a limited
time. I would know exactly where my priorities should be.
You know exactly when, because if we're being particularly honest, everybody's gonna die. None of us get out of this shit alive, so it doesn't matter. Now, my reasoning, and I would also choose, I would rather just know when everybody's gonna die. And my reasoning being, not even because of what is gonna be, knowing when your family's gonna die, like the precise date, I can see that being mentally taxing, However, I don't want to have to be in a position where I have to explain where this dead fucking body came from.
I was thinking about that because I was trying to rationalize it in my head. I was like, no, wait, what are the advantages? It's weird to think about it that way.
Right?
Never open your closet.
Just never open your fucking closet.
You can do that. But then the bodies are just
stacking up, right? Like the bodies are just stacking up over time.
Like every time you open your closet, you have a 1% chance of finding a dead body.
True.
So it's Schrodinger's dead body.
True.
Until you open your thing, and it's a discrete roll at the dice every time you open your closet.
Fair.
So if you open your closet 100 times a day, you're finding a dead body every day.
At least once, right?
Like.
True.
If that's how it works.
If that's how it works.
Here's the other thing. Is this a corpse of somebody in the neighborhood, somebody that you know, or is this just an untraceable John Doe? because there's a very big difference between finding the corpse of one of our neighbors who we're not super close with our neighbors, but finding somebody from the neighborhood,
Right.
versus finding generic body, that has no records of it existing on planet Earth.
See, now if that is true, that's fair.
And is this a dead, already been dead corpse, or is this somebody dies?
See, that's the question. That's the question that was never asked.
Where's the corpse coming from?
Yeah.
Let's say, for sake of drama, let's say it isn't necessarily like a neighbor, but it is a person, like an actual
somebody. It's a real person. Somebody died of natural causes, or got murked, or something was going to happen anyways.
Nope.
Yeah,
No.
what's
Kill them by
someone-
opening the closet.
Someone, you open the closet or you look in the closet, someone, random person,
dies?
just dies and appears in your closet. I don't see this changing any of our answers, but
No, this makes it a hard. I know exactly.
This is a
what
hard no, and it's funny because the podcast brings up. He goes, it would be so much worse if a pretty white girl winds up in that fucking closet, as a dark skinned black man.
Yeah,
Bro, when he said that, all of my fears just yep, nope, could never. Even if there was a chance I would rather deal with that point alone made me realize, nope, could never do it. Never do it. Just having a dead body and wind up in your closet is bad enough as is. Let that shit wind up being a woman. Let that shit wind up being a pretty woman. Let that shit wind up being a pretty white woman.
Yeah.
In my fucking closet,
done.
the end
Dunzo.
of me. That's
No
literally
life.
just the end of me. There's nothing I can say to anybody.
Yep.
I sure as shit can't tell the truth. I can't say
Well, you could, but
I mean, I could.
you
Well,
sound
officer, every
delusional.
time I open my closet, there's a 1% chance of a body. And I just never know when that's gonna happen.
I don't know when it's gonna happen.
Why is that? Well, it was either that, or I knew when all my family members were gonna die. What would you do?
That is technically something you could prove, though. You could stand there and open and close it
Just open and close it.
100 times.
Come on.
But then you're deliberately killing someone else.
Someone
just
has to
prove a
die.
point.
Which now you get into the fun legal, the legal world of, are you still a murderer? If it's such a stupid fucking dilemma. It's such a shitty dilemma. It is could someone now prove that you are still a murderer? Because the first time it happens, can't be your fault.
Definitely culpable.
Yeah.
If you know about the curse and you're going around opening closets,
Yes.
Is it your closet or?
Well,
or
here's
could
the thing.
It just said your
What's
closet,
the
so I'm assuming
definition
your bedroom closet.
of a closet? Is it only your bedroom closet? Is it? Do I go to the broom closet?
No, I
do
think
I go to the coat just a coat check?
A coat check.
Do I open my cupboards because it's a box with doors?
By the wording it said your closet, I'm going to assume your bedroom closet.
I love how we're trying to tiptoe around.
You're trying.
What if we slide our stuff under the
what if I just
cabinets of
don't
the
ever
kitchen?
use my closet and then what? Yeah, no.
I don't use my closet that often, anyways. Well,
Neither-
that's because
I don't close my closet.
I don't close it either.
Maybe that's
Maybe that'll
workaround.
get me out
But
of it.
does
Just
that
never
mean every
close
time I
it.
look at my closet
That there's a
I'm
1%
using-
chance that there might be a fucking dead body. Do you know how much that would fucking terrify me?
Yeah, honestly, that's probably scarier.
It's honestly scarier because it's a thing of I can wake up, get up, look in my closet, there's nothing there, turn around, make the bed, turn back, and there's just a fucking dead body.
You make your bed?
No.
I'm gonna sit here and lie to the people.
In a hypothetical world.
In a
where I
hypothetical
make my
world.
bed.
People do make their beds, though. You make your bed.
I make my bed. I try.
I don't make my bed. But,
I don't know.
I don't know, it's presentable, son.
To me, it feels nice getting in a made-up bed at the end of the day. That's just me, though.
It's funny you say that. There are people that have mentioned, I think, particularly Markiplier mentioned this either on his podcast or he was doing Power Wash Simulator with somebody. But he mentioned that he likes to, and apparently plenty amount of people who like to make their bed because it's just a way to start off the morning. It's a way to start off the morning with essentially organization and getting things back into order.
Framing yourself and setting things.
And I know how
Right.
bad I can
Have
be
you
on the
guys
daily.
seen those
Yeah.
TikToks of the guy who irons his bed sheets every day?
Every day?
No.
Because he does these routine, like Loki ASMR TikToks. And he starts off his day by making his bed and he puts it up. He irons the creases on the bed sheets. And then he goes and he puts on his like fit. It gives the whole thing gives American Psycho vibes. That's all I'm saying.
I was about to say.
It's like he's It's like he's clearly very put together, but it's the creepiest shit I've ever
I was
seen
about
in
to
my
say.
life.
I'm sure he's a lovely dude. I'd hope that someday this podcast gets around to him because that means we've gotten famous.
We can start a Twitter page.
We could. That sounds like psycho behavior.
Yeah,
Are all his videos like that?
Maybe he's got OCD. Maybe that's just how things are.
Possibly.
But like it is. We gotta pull it. You need
I want to
see this.
Are all his videos like that, or is it
Because
just like this one
they
video?
pop up for me not infrequently because I can't pull myself away from them.
Did you find it?
I searched morning routine psycho. Like,
He does the most.
He does the most. And I bet gets hella pussy.
Or no pussy at all.
Or none at all.
I mean, if you look like Patrick Bateman, and they know who that is.
Rose says bro is more accurate than Patrick Bateman. I need y'all to listen to this comment exchange.
Oh, there's a comment exchange?
Yes.
Oh, perfect.
It's not even going to be what you think it is, but it's still going to be fucking wild.
Okay.
So we'll say there's OP, the person who posted the video, Everyday Engine, user 1, the one who started this comment thread, user 2, the one who's going to, it's going to be very relevant. So user 1, dude, I know, I watched all his videos. He's the best. No cap. He is very neat. OP, probably my favorite videos to watch. User 1, yeah, I know, right? User 2, can you give me his channel? User 3, sure. No name.
Interesting. Maybe it was a DM, but even then.
That would be the wildest thing.
Sure, here you go. Literally doesn't have anything.
Oh, Mackenzie WC on YouTube. Here you go. Also, we have a fine videographer in the background here. He doesn't want to be on camera, but he's doing a fantastic job. We're episode 2, and we already got a videographer.
Beautiful man.
And he's also my bestest friend in the whole wide world. He is the great, the awesome, the mighty, the beautiful, the absolutely Adonis-like Izzy, 11 Shadows. No, thanks for coming out and helping out with video setup.
Are you distressed?
Oh, this is the guy. He just cut his hair.
Huh.
Mackenzie William.
Don't case me. Not on camera.
God, that is wild to me.
I'm sure he's like really living his best life, but
Honestly,
if
he
you
looks like
have
he
a-
is.
If you have,
He looks like he's living his best life.
okay, I thought you said he looked like a rapist. I was like,
I mean,
I said he looks like he is.
like, but I don't know how you could do what he does without being a content creator.
I'm so curious, like, what he did before getting into this. Because, like, yeah, no, that's absolutely, like, you don't do stuff like that.
Because like with that kind of a routine, I barely have a routine, and I already struggle to make it to work on time. Like,
Struggle is an understatement.
like I don't really even try. But
You really don't.
there was a period of time when I tried and repeatedly failed, and then nobody cared, and so I decided to also stop caring, and that's where we're at.
That's fair.
But
And then we took that energy and we started a podcast with it. So, yeah.
but like on the days when I get up and actually just like when I go to the gym with Shay with Sharon at like 6 a.m. Right, we go for like 2 hours and we come back, right, and then I have to get ready. That's like a chunk of like 4 hours.
Right.
That's dedicated just to like getting like doing my own thing like in the morning, right? This man gets up, he irons his bedding every day, purportedly, according to like what he films, cleans his shit every day, exercises, and then goes about whatever the fuck he does.
Yeah,
like
he does like crazy like skincare routine stuff too. Like,
he does.
Yeah.
He does like masks.
and in like fairness, a lot of people do, but they're all content creators. Like, this is very much like day in the life kind of content, right? It's like to wrap it back around to your point. Yeah, it is. There's no way you're doing this and you're not getting paid to do it, or like it's not content somehow.
Or you're just or you're like one of those like 4-hour work week people. Like you.
That would be pretty cool. He could be a travel blogger or like a entrepreneur or some shit.
Yeah. Could have started getting paid to do this until it actually became routine.
Right. Fucking, that is nuts. I wonder if he. We'll move off of Mackenzie. Like, we're not gonna keep fucking ragging on you, dude. But I wonder if he sleeps like perfectly still.
Yeah, like arms crossed, straight up.
Straps himself in on purpose because he doesn't want to move. Oh, God.
Wrinkles. Oh, wrinkles. There's a wrinkle.
Holy fuck. Anywho.
Good stuff, though.
Good stuff.
Looks great.
Absolutely. I mean, it looks phenomenal. Like, it's fucking working for him.
Yeah. I wish I had that discipline.
Right. Same. That's.
My brain could never do that.
Your brain could never do
My
that.
brain could never do that.
Never.
Yeah. Like, I'll throw my bed together, but not like that. Like,
Right.
it's...
Like
I don't
we
even
discussed
bother.
earlier, unless I had somebody else in my life that cared about the state of my bed, like a romantic partner, I'm not gonna make my bed.
Right.
I once dated somebody who said that thing like I feel like when you made it in life is when you can make your bed every day.
I'm never fucking making it.
I'm like,
Who said that?
An X. And
An
we're going to
X.
keep it that way.
I see.
Which X?
the one who I would dead name if I said their name.
Oh, okay.
But they like at that point.
I mean, they know the first one. His first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I figured.
This is my first actually, but
I forget that every once in a while.
well, like I technically dated some. We don't need to get into that. That's the subject change. Well,
That's a story for another time.
at one point, I was like, well, first off, just make your bed every day if you feel that strongly about it.
Right? Like,
Like if you,
that's a weird barrier of entry.
Yeah.
Of like, if making it is that easy, I can throw my bed together every morning. Like, it's not that I can't do it. I just don't see a point in doing so.
It's just that
When you
literally.
really made it, you can tie your shoes after you take them off.
See, I don't
You
do that.
untie your shoes when you take them off. Wait, hold on. I just caught what you just said. You tie your shoes after you take them off?
Yeah, if you
That's-
really made it.
Wait.
You want to talk about psycho behavior? That's murder
You
behavior,
slip
man.
out of the shoe and then you untie
Then you
it.
set it on your knee and you retie it back up with a perfect bow and you put them both together. You set it by the door.
Honestly, though, I don't untie my shoe when I take them off, so it's kind of like like I just slip them off and then like slide them back on.
When I purchase a pair of shoes, I put them on my feet,
Yeah.
I tie them, and that's the tie that they get.
Y'all know-
Until they loosen up
Yep.
too much
Yep.
for me.
Amen.
No. I got to show y'all. Y'all know the bell curve of like stupidity? Or there's the bell curve of like, what is it, competence? How do you spell competence?
The irony in the question.
We're gonna make it up. There it is.
I would shit out a spelling of being correct.
You ever seen the bell curve meme though of like idiots at the low end, people that like people in the middle are like doing shit at like a high level, and then you realize that the people who are really smart at what they're doing also do it at like the lowest level they possibly can. Like that's basically what this is. You have everybody who like takes off their shoe, like us who like I'm buying a shoe, I'm tying it once, and it's staying tied until it comes untied.
Yeah.
Then you have the people who are untying their shoe every time they take it off. Then you get back to the people who are taking their shoe off and tying it back up. Like, oh man, that is psychopathic behavior, man. That's psycho behavior.
No, it's just like, why would you just untie your double knot? Because it's already hard to like
Like,
get it apart the first time.
Do you double knot your shoes?
I do double knot.
Really?
That's why they stay. If I don't double knot them, they're going to come apart, and it's like, what's the point?
Fair enough, depending on the shoes.
I really need to get one of those long shoe horns.
Yeah, those are pretty nice.
Those are nice.
Those are nice.
I saw one of those in Italy for the first time, and they were just like, whoop, slip it on their shoes.
But how
I
long?
was like, well,
How long is long?
Yeah, because I've seen long ones here, but if you're talking like...
You have one at your house.
Yeah,
At your
that's
mother's
what I'm
house.
saying. Yeah. You said in Italy. I was like, wait. Do they only have the long ones in Italy?
Everything's longer
Probably.
in Italy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've heard about Italian stallions.
The hair.
Stallions probably got long hair.
Yeah, more than
too.
likely.
Yeah,
More than
yeah,
likely. More than likely. Oh man,
Everybody's more attractive than Italy. It's a problem.
it is a problem. There's some other problems in there.
For me personally. But
That's fair. That's fair.
Is that why you want to?
maybe a little bit.
Yeah,
I want to move to Italy because everybody's beautiful over there.
It's not a bad reason.
Yeah,
to be
no.
particularly honest.
It's honestly one of the better reasons.
Actually, I went to Italy because it's affordable.
Yeah,
That too.
yeah. Because
Because
this.
for $30K, I could get a fixer-upper versus $200K.
200K for the same fixer-upper here.
Oh my gosh.
It's,
Why? Do you know?
In Italy, why house prices are so low? Because they have an aging population. So they have the same issue in Japan. A lot of older people are leaving behind houses. And housing just isn't in demand, especially in like the countrysides. The people don't want to move there. Old people that live there are dying, and then houses are rotting. That's why they were actually selling houses for $1 in Italy, which sounds really good
I mean,
until you realize it comes with like a bunch of stipulations from the government because it's like seized property. Whereas the housing prices over there, you can get something pretty nice for very reasonable, and then it's yours. It's just yours.
Yeah.
So.
And it's
enough.
pretty much like the perfect scenario for someone like you who's like super handy and can like pretty much build what needs to be built from a fixer.
as long as he has someone there to force him to do it.
It's the truth, though. It's a fair.
It's a fair. I'm sorry, buddy, but it's true.
Every hour we just got to make sure we call Fluff like,
Hey,
if he's over in Italy.
Hey, how's your house coming along?
put the fucking roof on, dude.
But I want to play my games.
I want to watch show to read Manhwas. Oh man.
Do you understand? I just started a new manhwa, and it's like at least a 5 out of 10, so I'm obsessed with it.
It's at least a 5 out of 10. It's readable, therefore I'm obsessed. Oh man.
You know, you can get a house closer by for about 30 to 40 in Flint.
For similar reasons, yeah. Just gotta really hope that piping infrastructure gets figured out sometime soon.
I'll get a Brita filter.
Brita filter for the win.
And then Fluffy solved the entire water problem in Flint. I just went down to the sewer and put a Brita filter in.
Genius.
Why did no one else think of it?
Why didn't anybody do it? All those wacky
man.
government officials.
Holy shit.
We solved it for you, Flint.
We
There
solved
you
it,
go.
Flint. There you go. Holy fuck. All right. It has been 30 minutes. Let's actually get into an episode. Our fucking wonderful preamble. I hope this goes the same way every week. This is what I like about podcasts. So, last week, or at least last episode, a lot of the episode was dominated by what we do, who we are, and then
And then I talked for 45 minutes.
which is what we want. And then talk about Manhwa. What about you?
Yeah.
What do you bring to this fucking podcast?
Yeah, I bring kind of a mixed bag.
This is an interview.
Right. Oh, let me grab my tie from the other room.
Sorry, we gotta trim the fat from
me?
podcast.
Oh yeah, I got
No, from the podcast. And honestly, you're just not pulling your weight.
No, we're interviewing, not kissing.
He's kissing.
But no, I guess I got a mixed bag, if only because there's a lot happening right now with me in my life.
What we got?
But I know that there's one thing, and I've kind of been wanting to talk through just some of the games that either I've been playing or I've been like seeing recently. But I know that, you know, just the other day, I finished playing through Spider-Man 2.
Ooh.
And that shit was fire. That was fire. Way better, maybe not way better, but definitely better than the first one, if only because of the different story elements that are there and the different, you know, controls and mechanics that you got going on. They definitely improved upon the first iteration by far. And it's just so beautifully like crafted. Again, obviously the graphics are amazing. I got a PS5, so I'm playing on that.
Right.
And it's just really, really good. I don't know what else to say. Story elements, they nailed it. And of course there's going to be a little bit of discrepancy between, like, you know, maybe the comics or the movies or whatever, what have you. But again, I feel like they at least really nailed the essence of Spider-Man and that world, even though it's our world, but it's not our world.
Right.
It really felt like you were actually in the city, swinging around, talking to people.
In fairness, you were though.
Yeah.
Like the pains they went through to recreate New York. It's New York.
I was gonna say, is it a digital twin a la GTA?
Pretty much, yeah. I think the only difference being that because it has it does have fictional buildings. So like the Norman Osborn, the Oscorp.
Oscorp, yeah.
I wanted to say Normcorp so bad. I don't know where that came from. But like the Oscorp building, the
Avengers building is
I was going to
also
say the
in
Stark
there.
building is there.
Yeah.
Obviously stuff like, it's like in the first game, what was the name of the company, the evil company? But that company.
Yeah, gosh, it's been a minute.
I want to say Vault, but I know that that's from The Boys.
Yeah, no. Vogue is the boys. Vought is the
Vault,
boys.
yeah.
Gosh, I can't remember.
What is the name of that building?
I don't know, that organization, whatever it is, we're gonna get flamed. We're gonna get flamed by y'all for not remembering.
Right.
But
Is it the Baxter? No, what's the Baxter building?
I don't know what we're talking about at all. So
Spider-Man.
I know we're talking about Spider-Man, but in terms of
But anywho, yeah, so there's like obviously like fictional places there, but yeah, no, it's mostly it's like a 1-to-1 creation of like the 5 boroughs. It is sick.
Yeah, and it's really great. I remember going to see a GDC Game Developers Conference talk about kind of the tech behind the first Spider-Man back like in, what was it, 2017, 18?
Something like that,
Something
yeah.
like that.
God.
It was
In the before times.
right, and it seems like so long ago, honestly. Or, you know, I don't know, it's weird. Time is strange that way.
Time is an illusion.
But they were talking about all the cool like material things that they did within their engine, their game engine, trying to make every single room inside of all the buildings look like, you know, unique in actual rooms, even though they didn't actually model them out themselves.
Right.
It was all a material shader and kind of like an illusion with the camera that they did using cube maps.
When you say, I don't know if you remember this, when you say they didn't model it, because like, I mean, I understand like there were cube maps. Basically they were using like camera trickery, camera trickery to essentially, it was a say that again?
Cramrod Twickleweed?
Shut the fuck up. They're essentially using essentially a 2D plane to make it look like a 2D image to make it look like there was a 3D that's in there. But to get those 3D objects, like, did they still like need a 3D library to do that, or
Are you talking about
It's kind of
entering buildings or looking inside of buildings?
looking inside
of them?
It's like a normal map, a little bit, not exactly.
Right.
It's like a projection almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, initially, like, yeah, you can model out like a room.
Yeah.
And then like take a a render of that room from a certain angle in whatever kind of format. I haven't actually looked at a whole bunch of cube maps, know exactly how it's laid out, but I know that that whatever file format that is, you have to, you take that image and you make it a cube map, and it works. You can take a render from a room that you build in 3D, sure, and use that as a cube map and put it on those windows.
But it's essentially like, it's a 2D plane, like the window is just a single plane, but if you're standing off to the left, you can see the right wall of the room. And if you're standing off to the right, you can see the left wall.
So no, that I understand. I guess my point being is there 3D modeling that goes into setting up the room to get the, or are they? I guess it's not even the question.
How do they generate it?
Like, are they like randomly generating different rooms, or is it like the same? Like, do they have like 30 cube maps they created?
Yeah, it's like 30 cube maps that's just spread throughout random different rooms. Like if you were to like look at one room and then like, Spider-Man like crawl to another window, you'll probably see the same room after you will eventually start seeing the same rooms. Okay. But it's different enough to the point where it looks
really, no one's paying that much attention.
When you're swinging like at like Mach 10 through the city, you're not going to really notice unless you're really like taking a minute to like crawl on the buildings and look. But even then though, it
gives it a lot of depth.
It does.
Yeah. It makes it feel
look like crazy, because instead of the techniques of old, which was all of your windows were just like super reflective and you can never see inside of a window.
Or you can be like Big Hero 6 and map out where you're flying through the city and actually build.
True. I mean,
that's different. I
was gonna say that's cinema.
That's emanation.
Yeah.
Are you being passive aggressive?
I think he's being passive aggressive.
Gizmo. What? What do you want?
Come say hello. You're already here.
Come over here.
Come on.
Hi, Gizmo.
I was petting you.
Hi, doggy.
Say hello.
Hello, old puppers.
He does this basically as a ploy to make Fluffy jealous.
Look, you let him be good, you.
So what do you want to talk about, Gizmo?
Yeah, Gizmo, what you got? What you got for the people?
You only give me one little piece of fish earlier today.
I like food. You guys want to talk about food?
I did food.
just sit on my hand? Okay.
Oh, he's going to love that spot, actually.
He's going to love this spot. Don't lick me.
Don't do it. But,
yeah.
No. So, of course, the graphics, again, amazing. Story, again, it hits on a lot of different points in all the different, Spider-Man movies and other games, too. But, I don't know. Sometimes it feels like there's a lot crammed into one. I think I felt that a lot more with the first Spider-Man, actually.
I'm trying to remember, because I remember watching you play it.
I agree.
There were like so many villains just like popping out of the woodworks as if it was like, it's like, oh, remember this villain? Remember this one? Remember this one? Remember this one?
Well, there were like 3 discrete story arcs that could have been their own cinematic movie running simultaneously in parallel, and then they all intertwined.
Are y'all saying this about the first or the second game?
The first one more.
And the second game was pretty similar, if I remember from watching it as well.
The second one was close. I still don't think it was as much as the first one, because I think the second one focused, and this isn't a spoiler at all, the second one focuses more on like Kraven and the whole Venom issue.
Right.
And it's really those two. It's two.
Yeah.
But it's not like you were saying 3 or 4 different things happening in the first one.
So we should sell Kraven brand potato chips.
We should.
Honestly.
Kraven. I hate you so much.
The hunt.
Kraven.
Yeah. Kraven.
We're
craving for them.
There
chips.
you go.
Yeah, all about the hunt.
All about the hunts.
Okay, but okay.
Put a little like burn that looks like his head on him.
Oh my god!
That's super recognizable silhouette that is Kraven the Hunter. Okay, I'm thinking of the first game, and I know there was the Mr. Negative plot, as well as the Tinkerer plot. What was? Is there other ones I'm not thinking of right now?
It's like
Well, you think of Tinker as Doc Ock?
That's right. There was
Doc Ock.
I completely forgot about Doc
Then
Ock.
Rhino was in there, And then there was
But he was more like a secondary character too.
But then he became a little bit more relevant because of his armor and everything.
That's right.
That Doc Ock was making for him. Doc Ock was making stuff for a lot of different villains.
6.
And so I don't know. You can make an argument where it's like, okay, that's not really a whole bunch of other storylines coming together. That's just one. But at the same time, it feels like a lot of other storylines because there are all those villains who have who each have separate arcs in Spider-Man lore, right? Mm-hmm. Like he faces off against each and every one of those at different times when they're first getting introduced. It just feels like a lot's coming together for the first one, but
that's fair.
I don't know. It still was fun. I still had a great time with it. Sometimes the story just got a little bit hard to follow for a while there. But I didn't really feel that much with the second one. Again, I think things were a little bit shorter in the second one. I think my gameplay time for the first one was 42 hours or something like that. Then again, I was
gonna say, is that total or is that just story?
That's total. Okay. But there seemed to be a lot more side quests too in that first one. Mm-hmm. And I'm about to hit 22 hours in the second one, and I haven't finished all of the quests yet, but it's not going to take 20 hours to finish those.
Fair.
So, I don't know. I think it's a little shorter, but I appreciate that, if only because I know that they could be releasing DLC.
Yeah.
So...
And I imagine they will.
Well, I can't sometimes it makes sense to have a more focused experience if it's going to improve it.
Right.
Just because it takes you, 100 hours to finish a game doesn't mean it was a good game.
That's true. That is very true. There's the amount of games where, I guess there's not a lot of games where I've gotten 100 hours in and didn't enjoy it, but there are definitely games where I can guarantee you my play time is out of a necessity rather than an actual enjoyment of the game.
Because I personally, I think hours spent as a metric of bang for your buck is terrible. Because then everybody should just buy RimWorld and Minecraft.
And get infinite amount of replay.
Infinite play time, infinite experience, infinite variation, download mods, do whatever. You can do whatever the heck you want. Mm-hmm. But not everybody likes Minecraft. Not everybody's going to enjoy RimWorld. You have to be a special kind of nerd to enjoy RimWorld. Yeah. Right? The crafting a high quality experience that people are going to enjoy, I think, is much more important. People are going to want to spend time with something that they really are enjoying and having a good time with. But if you need to short the time to make it good, I think that's the clear choice.
No, absolutely. And like I said, I think I enjoyed the second one a lot more because of, it seems like the effort, the amount of time that they put into making sure the story was cohesive, the mechanics worked for everything that you get to unlock, right?
Right.
I think it was worth it.
And which, some of the sickest suits.
Man. Oh my gosh, yes.
Some of those suits are so sick.
Every single, even in the first one too, just all these suit unlocks, so many nods to not only Spider-Man, but all of the Marvel heroes, a lot of the, I don't know, just Across the Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse.
The way that somebody Across the Spider-Verse would animate on twos.
Oh. Yeah.
It's when you put that skin on and the way the movie,
it's so good.
You would think it would be it's a little jarring at first just because, the character is moving on the 2s and 3s.
But the rest of the world is moving full FPS.
Right. And so it's your animations when you're fighting and stuff, sometimes it seems a little delayed, especially during your finishers. When you're doing the camera does the cool swoops and stuff. Right. It looks a little weird, but I don't know, it just adds to the fun of it. And I think one of the other mods to make it seem comic, freaking the POWs and Capings and the all the words to make all those pop up.
The herks.
Onomatopoeias pop up.
But there's a specific word for I think are they called comic zings?
Maybe.
I think there's something but those little graphics that used to be in the old Batman.
My phone's over there. I can't go.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Could we search it up on the computer that's sitting in front of me? Yes, I could, but we're not going to. I'm having more fun this way. But yeah, no, like a lot of that stuff is actually like pretty sweet.
Yeah,
Twitter can correct us later. I'm not on Twitter.
I am though, so not very often. It's okay. But yeah, no, like a lot of that stuff is cool.
As soon as I unlock like those like mods and suits, I like equip them as fast as I can and like never like take them off. Especially that mod, that Comic Zing mod.
Yeah, you had that on.
Yeah,
it's some of the funniest because it creates this funny thing of super dark and heavy moment going on. Fucking colorful splash of
Zing,
pow. No, the one very specific one I remember was this is where it's gonna get kind of spoilery right here. So if you don't want to hear spoilers for Spider-Man 2 and kind of what goes on in that game, time to tune out and then tune back in at the timestamp I'll post at the bottom here.
Hand signals.
So when we finally get like Harry back in the Venom suit and you're going to the Oscorp building, the first time you get him breaking a dude's back, you get like a herc.
Oh my god!
Little off-screen thing, and like that was the immediate moment. I was like, "Oh, you're playing with the mod on. You're playing like with the modification on." Because like, there's no way you're supposed to have that moment, and it'd be like. Luckily, it doesn't do it in the cutscenes, but like the first time, because it was funny. We were sitting there watching him play. We were sitting there watching you play, and
we're like, "Nah, he's just like you are every time you watch Spider-Man slam somebody neck first down
right,
the pavement." You're like, "Man, he's definitely killing these
this
people.
person is definitely dead." But no, they're not because the game says they're not.
And Spider-Man doesn't kill people.
Spider-Man doesn't kill, and we were watching Venom go through. You were playing as Venom at the time.
Yeah. So since this is a spoiler section, we may as well get into it a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, we're getting into it.
Yeah. No, at one point in the game,
tell me you got my favorite potato chip head joke.
Oh, wait. I'm so upset.
You guys weren't laughing as hard as I expected you to.
I hate you.
I
hate you more than I thought I could.
I don't even know what he's.
You'll get there. Just keep talking about this moment.
Okay. So towards. Wait, no.
You'll get there. Do you got it now? We'll get there. Don't worry. Just keep talking.
So towards the end of the game, you get to play as actual Venom, right? You are actually Harry in this Venom suit as Venom.
Full-on Hawking figure, not just Black Spider-Man.
With the teeth and tongue and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you're rampaging through this Oscorp Foundation, and you get basically to insta-kill all the people coming at you in the most nastiest ways.
Like, and at first it's like the usual. At first it's the usual, like, he's just hitting them really hard and like hitting them with tentacles, and it's like clearly this will kill any normal person, but oh no, we didn't see anybody die yet.
Right. And we were like hoping that we get to see some kind of like deadly, like some kind of death or something.
Because Venom don't give a fuck.
Because Venom doesn't give a shit.
Right. He's not Spider-Man. He will kill. He will happily kill.
Nope. Just backhanding people as you go through this, and that's the worst it gets until
we get to this. You know, we're fighting, killing, or hurting, damaging, and there's this like finisher that happens, and he literally picks up, you know, a dude and like Bane, but without the knee, literally above his head,
it just
snaps them in half, and you hear the crunch.
Yeah,
not like it happened, but he like, you know how like
that back is destroyed.
You know a bendy straw.
Yeah.
How like when you crank it, it'll go.
You know the scene. You know the scene in Lion King.
Wait.
At the beginning of Lion King, the very first thing like Rafiki does.
Is this the live action?
No, the fucking cartoon. And he takes the fruit.
With the fucking pomegranate thing?
And just cracks it in half. That's quite literally what Venom does to this poor guy. Like, just to this guy, just
Just private security.
Like, just dude is just doing his job.
Yeah.
And Venom said, and it's funny because they lead you up to that moment. Like, you don't get that from the get.
No.
You have to get like halfway through Oscorp.
Yeah.
Before you finally get that finisher. And so they very much make sure it's like a moment.
Yeah.
Oh, that caught us.
And
that caught us all for a fucking loop.
Yeah, and the wild thing is, throughout the whole entire time you're doing this, you got Norman in the background. It's like, "Don't hurt my baby
Don't hurt
boy.
my son.
Oh my gosh,
We'll fix this.
Stop him, but don't hurt him." What are we supposed to do? Norman? What are we supposed to do?
What is anybody supposed to do?
Only.
It's an alien, my guy.
An indestructible alien at that.
Literally, like
I would have walked out the door.
I want to just straight up like left. Let's fire me, throw me in jail. I don't care what you do to me.
Oh yeah,
I'm not fighting this.
You're shooting Venom. He's healing, literally healing.
Yeah.
After every kill, every well, not kill, but every.
I don't even care that he healed. I'm not staring down a 9-foot tall, jagged tooth, 19.
That's waiting
Say it.
through
19 inches of Venom. Like, I'm not staring that down and going, gotta do what I gotta do. Like,
The boss says to shoot him.
boss says I gotta take him down. I guess I'll try.
$18 an hour.
Like,
Actively charging at this thing that you're watching snap the backs of your comrades.
like, is just backhanding people like 50 feet across the hall and shit.
That's Jimmy. You just ate breakfast with Jimmy. He's a pretty buff guy. And he just went.
Like,
now Jimmy's over there and over there.
Right.
And over there.
like, that was always a thing about like comic book like henchmen that like never made sense. Was there's a certain point where you look at the threat facing you, whether that be something like Venom that's like just a rampaging monster, or like the Hawk, or like fucking Thor. At a certain point, you as just like a regular earthling dude who all you have is like a gun and maybe like a backup clip. At a certain point, you have to look at this and go, this ain't worth
pay grade.
This ain't worth it. It's just
You
ain't
know
worth
what?
it.
Cuff me. If you gotta break my limbs or something like that, that's okay.
No, I really prefer that you didn't.
I would be like, that's okay.
Right.
Just like, please don't crunch me.
Just please don't kill me.
I'd rather get fired
Right?
and not have to deal with the possibility of these threats anymore than lose my life.
Yeah.
I'm
lose
either
my
gonna
life,
die to you, or I'm gonna die in jail when the Joker fucking gashes us. So,
Yeah, like-
at least I'll get. Maybe they'll put me in witness protection.
Right?
Maybe that'll work out.
Maybe I can snitch. I don't know.
It's like that scene in John Wick where he's behind the bodyguard. He knows the guard at the place, and he's like, "You should take the night off." And he's like,
Yeah.
"Thank you, Mr. Wick."
It's like there's just certain. That's another example, though. Like, that whole movie is an exercise in, this dude's reputation. You know what he can do to you. There ain't no amount of money. There ain't no evil crime power in the world that's gonna have me looking at John Wick and going, "Yeah, I can take him." Yeah, I could do it. This man has taken on like 3 full crime syndicates on his own and won.
Yo,
Was considered the best in his field, like before his wife died. Spoilers for John Wick, I guess. But
That's not a spoiler.
that's not even
That's
spoiler.
the
you learn
It's
that
literally
in the
the setting.
first 5 minutes of the person.
so somebody out there needs to figure it out.
So somebody
And
out
then
there's
his
like, "Oh my
dog
gosh,
died.
you
And
know
then his
that?"
dog died. I wonder how the series continues from there. Like, literally, you're watching a living legend, and I think I forget if it was you, me and you, or me and you. One of us talked about this. I was talking about it with one of you two, and it was like the idea of 7 million. Like, it was the question of like, what time period does this movie take place in, where you can offer me $7 million to try and take down a dude that is literally considered the devil. Like, the idea that like, his bounty is at 8 million, and everybody's like, I gotta go in for that. Like, you're all like, you live in a world in which you work a job that gets you access to whatever the fuck you want. You have access to like this world-class hotels, clearly transportation, the best guns, super high tech suits that let you like block bullets and shit. Like you would want for literally nothing. Why on earth would $7 million mean anything to you? Like,
especially if you could keep doing like lower priority like hits,
right, like,
and have no threat of losing your life or anything really.
Right, and like by the end of John Wick 4, spoilers, John Wick 4,
don't really make sense.
They don't make any level of sense because it's
also
like
the fact that like coins,
they have these gold bullions that like literally get you whatever you want. Mm-hmm. So it's
whether
like
it's a month at a hotel or a single costume.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You get whatever you want. So it's like by the end of John Wick 4, the bounty's at like 44 million. And it's like, who cares? Who of anyone in this organization cares enough about $44 million that facing John Wick is worth it?
At that point, it's got to be like a personal vendetta. Like at that point, the only person who could take somebody like John Wick is somebody like John Wick.
Is the dude he faces off at the end of the movie. Like, say it again, sir?
I could see hubris. I could see if you see him, know that it's him. Somebody else finds out that you let him go, you also die. I could see that. I could see nothing else.
And there's literally nothing else. Like there is no other good reason as to why I would go after John Wick. And money, least of all. Mm-hmm. It makes, as much as I like the dude in this movie, I can't remember what his name is, but he's the black dude with the dog. Where like his sole motivation was the bounty. Yeah. And it's like, bro,
I'm waiting for it to get higher.
I'm just waiting for it to get higher. And then gets his hand stabbed through by the marquee. But it's like, because what did he agree on? It was like 21 million, I think.
Remember what he had to fucking do to the marquee to get...
Yeah, that's it. Oh, that's right. It wasn't just stabbed through the hand. He had to literally tear his hand off the knife. I completely forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
But he did all that for 21 million.
Yeah.
Like 21 million to take on, that's not worth it. Mm. That's not worth it in this line of work.
At that point. Yeah.
At this point, like, it just, that level of money just didn't make any sense. But it is...
Could be a timeline thing then.
Could be a timeline thing. Could be an alternate universe thing. I don't know. But yeah, like the whole henchman deal, like some of them do make sense. Like there's a few that do make sense. Like any henchman of the Joker is categorically insane.
Yeah.
They're just as crazy as Hitler.
Was he wrong though?
I was not wrong.
Henchman, Hitler, the Joker.
The Joker, yeah. Fucking, I mean, honestly. But, I don't know, man. But like any henchman of the Joker makes sense. It's like, yeah, no, you're probably insane just like he is. Mm-hmm. That's why you keep trying. Anyone that's like a cultist, so like the Flame in Spider-Man 2. I can understand that because they're quite literally cultists. Like they're fanatics and crazies, like by definition. Mm-hmm. But like people like the Tinkerer's henchmen, I guess they do get they do actually get like pretty decent tech, but even still, like you're just like kids. Yeah. Like you're just teenagers. What are we doing?
Right. Don't you got school?
Don't you got school? Like you are going to look at Spider-Man and go, yeah, I could take him on.
Yeah, I could take him. I just be good.
You just watched him take down a warehouse full of like 60 of your like comrades, and you are still walking up like, yeah, we're gonna fucking do this. Like
that is one thing though about the Spider-Man games right now. It's what you were just saying. The technology that these characters get is of that level that Spider-Man can make, sure. But Spider-Man himself is a mutant. Like he has powers. It's not just his tech. So it's like a lot of these people in these games are like, oh yeah, I could take down Spider-Man. You can't, because under that tech that he has, yes, he is still superhuman. Yeah. He has the strength. Yeah. He has the speed. He has the
he's super smart. Oh, he has the Spidey sense. Yeah. And then he's a genius on top of that.
Yeah,
which you will never know, given like Peter Parker's character. Like
he could be a genius and dysfunctional.
And be completely social. Yeah, Like the dude is socially inept and
Like
dysfunctional.
just because you can
as
make
fuck.
computers real good doesn't mean you make your bed every day.
True.
Fair enough. But like,
But and that's another thing too, because it's like in a lot of scenarios you see characters that are like these anti-heroes or like these villains, yes, but like even characters who aren't necessarily villains. But it's like they don't have superhuman powers, and yet they're doing things that you would need superhuman powers to do. Like like what?
the bad man.
Yeah.
Or are you talking about within the game itself?
Well, I'm talking about the Spider-Man game. Like, I
mean,
think
like
her name
Yuri?
is Wraith.
Oh, yeah,
the chick
Yuri.
with the thing that was throwing dynamite 3 blocks.
Yeah. Like, how?
Like unless there's just like a weird off camera plot in which she got powers. Her and Black Cat.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, like they were doing shit that doesn't make sense.
Right.
They literally had like Spider-Man mobility and powers, but no explanation as to why they got them.
Right.
Maybe there's a One Punch Man style.
They just trained really hard.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if honestly like the creators had to do something like that, but I don't know. It's just weird in the game.
They're like, there's just no.
Because like you're doing all these crazy feats as Spider-Man, and then all of a sudden you meet somebody who can do like the same stuff, and you're like, "Oh, what kind of powers do you have?" And it's like, "Oh no, I just got claws."
I'm just deadly. Like I'm angry. Like she literally is the power of anger. Like she's just very mad.
Yeah,
For good reason.
Got a hook.
If we're being particularly honest here.
Power of gaslighting.
Power of gaslighting. Like holy shit.
Yeah. But
yeah, no.
No.
Spider-Man
Kenton,
2.
did you figure out the potato chip joke yet?
I have not, honestly. I gotta be honest.
Bane versus Craven.
Venom versus.
How does that? Oh, sorry,
Venom.
Bane.
I was like, Bane? I was like,
He's
wait.
basically the same guy. Come on.
Yeah.
No.
Big black masked,
Yeah. Wait.
dressed in black.
Okay. I was like,
Maybe?
Bane isn't.
He's not black, but he is dressed in a lot of black as well as has the black mask.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Uses, technically he uses like a weird like venom chemical to
Yeah.
give himself his powers. Besides the point. Anyway, Venom versus Craven at the end of.
Oh, okay. I get it.
It took me.
I get it now.
Yeah, but
Wild.
yeah, no, Sonic. God, why do we record so late?
Well, actually, it's funny that you said that because I was going to
go
be the
shopping.
second thing I was going to talk about.
Okay, all right, so that's the end of Spider-Man 2. Fantastic
Spider-Man 2,
game.
Great game. Amazing fun. Go check it out. Go play it. Go play the
Great
demo.
game.
It's free. Go get the game. It's not free, but it's good.
Yes. So end of that spoiler section. On to the next one.
Yes. So
Hey.
recently, we've been playing through, me and my fiance and Ruben every now and then. We played through Mario Wonder, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which
Pretty
was
fun game.
really great. A lot of cool game design stuff, new characters, new world, obviously, worlds. It's cool to see them explore more of like what the Mario universe has instead of just the Mushroom Kingdom. I know we've traveled to a lot of different places before, but like it feels like this is like really one of the first times that they've truly expanded fully.
Yeah, no, it's awesome having a Mario game where you can actually trip on shrooms.
Yes, absolutely. Those flowers.
Yeah, you
are-
find special flowers that you run into, and then all of a sudden the whole world goes nuts.
Isn't that
Yes.
weed?
Weed. Sorry,
It's a
weed.
special kind of flower, the weed.
After 4 decades of avid mushroom eating and nothing happening other than like you get bigger, we finally got a game with psychedelic flowers.
Got a game?
Yo.
I got a gay? I don't think we can have those these days. We're not allowed to own them. Not yet, anyway.
Why?
But yeah, no, that game was a lot of fun. Multiplayer is great. There's a weird camera thing, and I don't really like it. The whole camera system. that
Oh,
they
you
have
mean the
going
whole?
on, where it's like I don't know exactly how it works 100%.
You mean in
But-
Mario or Sonic?
In Mario, but then we're going to talk about Sonic. Okay, that's even worse.
So in Mario, there was always one character who basically you will get a crown over top of their head. that character is essentially the anchor character.
Mm-hmm.
As long as that character has the crown over their head, the camera follows them. It's kind of annoying. I think we talked about this a lot, where instead of like it just going split screen, like I feel like they used to do. I don't know in Mario games, but I know like some games will just like auto split screen. Instead, you all share one single camera, and if you're not the anchor character, if you go off the screen, you eventually become a ghost, and it zoops you back to the screen.
Yeah.
One way or the other.
And it's annoying because in pretty much every other Mario game before this that was multiplayer, they would do the thing where the camera is just in the middle of everybody who's on screen. It works nicely. I don't know why they felt they needed to change that. Did people have a problem with that before? I don't know.
I don't know.
It seemed like it worked perfectly before, but I don't know. This whole new system was kind of jank a little bit. It was kind of jank. It took us a minute. We figured it out, and we made it work, but I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of the camera system.
I wasn't super bothered with it because Mario gameplay is like, for the most part, like pretty chill. Like it's not a lot going on. It was those very specific challenge runs that it got really annoying for me because in some of them, if they detect so it's like if the lever God. It's too late. Why do we record so damn late?
Kingz After Dark.
After dark. It's Michigan, so it gets dark at like 5 o'clock.
In the winter, yes.
Right. But I'm imagining like the level designers like will know that some of the challenges are like high speed, and so some of those will just keep the camera. So it's actually weird because sometimes it'll be whatever character is farthest ahead, and then sometime it'll still switch it'll just switch the camera controls, which I understand. I don't know if they did a lot of playtesting with it because sometimes it's like very clear, like this was only really meant to be played by a single player. This was the second you get more than one player here, some things start to go wrong.
Yeah.
Boy, howdy do we know.
Yeah.
Some of those special stages.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I think, like you were saying, I think that like initially they were going for that one player experience, but then they like maybe remember like, oh wait, most of our games have been multiplayer. What can we do now to kind of, turn this one player experience into a multiplayer experience that kind of works, but
for the most part,
could be maybe a little bit better. I don't know. But
we got through it though.
We did.
We got through it.
Another fun game. We pretty much almost 100%ed it. Almost.
I say we. It was mostly you and your fiance. I popped in maybe like 3 times. I was there for the final battle.
Yeah.
So I take all the credit.
I was saying, and you're finishing it too, because
I am technically finishing it.
Like one last challenge that.
No, I'm getting I got to keep getting purple coins to buy up all the
standees.
Yes, those.
Yeah. Yep.
Was that the game you were playing where you just kept?
I was just doing the same level over again. Yep, because there's no really great way to farm coins other than that one level. It's great. It is fun though.
Awful.
It's awful, but sometimes it's like I like the repetition.
Yeah.
And it's a fun little platform challenge.
As someone who likes to shiny hunt, I can imagine. Oh man, it's like a a job where you just consistently like recycle and cycle. It's like, what are you doing tonight, Ruben? It's like,
the same thing I've been doing every night.
Shiny hunt.
Shiny hunt. Shiny hunt has been a lot better in the recent generations, but we can get into that at another time.
But
not sure it'll come up. But so we finished Mario.
Yeah, that's Mario, and I brought that up to tie into the new Sonic game, Sonic Superstars, which is kind of a remake of a classic style Sonic. It's like a side-scrolling Sonic, but it's like 3D.
It is in 3D, yeah.
It's not great. It's not great. It isn't.
The first impression was terrible.
Absolutely terrible.
Like we had just finished up. We just beat Bowser and Mario, and we were like, okay. You guys were like, well, we don't want to get the standees right now. I was like, I'll do that off camera. I said off camera. It was like we weren't recording this. Like I was like, I'll do that in my own time just so we can say like we actually 100% at Mario. And we were just looking through your Switch library and we saw Sonic Superstars.
Yeah, and I got that because I was like, it looked fun. They marketed it around like, hey, you can. It's multiplayer Sonic.
Right.
It's great. It's fun. And all the gameplay that they had for it, it looked cool. Like, it didn't look too weird. It looked like exactly what they marketed it as. I was like, okay, that
It
looks
looked
great.
like the next step after Sonic Mania. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, at least they marketed it as like, you guys love Sonic Mania, right? Well, here's more of Sonic Mania. And it's like, yeah. Or it's like Sonic Mania, but now here it is in 3D.
Right.
What was
like-
good about Sonic Mania?
It was made by somebody who wasn't on SEGA Team. It was made by Christian Whitehead, who's very prolific in like the Sonic fan game community. Like the dude is great at creating like classic style experiences. So the like classic 2D side scroller, like the way he sets things up, the way he does level design, like you can tell he's someone that just loves the Sonic series and love the Sonic games, and like you can feel that love in his craft. Then Sonic Team had to take a hold of it and try their own.
Yeah.
Why do I keep trying to make Sonic 3D?
What's bad about it?
So immediately, and again, there's three of us there, so we were like, oh, it's multiplayer, let's all three play, right?
Yeah.
And so we launch up like the first level,
State number 1.
and almost immediately, you are bombarded
With
by
so
rings
much.
and portals.
And when he say rings, he's not talking like gold rings you collect like normal Sonic games. He means like teleportation rings.
Yep. Portals, wormholes,
Special stage teleport, a different special stage teleport, a third special stage teleport. Like
every 10 seconds of you trying to run and go through the level, they throw
you
like that
into
in front of you.
another thing that's teleporting you somewhere. Like quite literally every 10 seconds of the first level. It was the weirdest experience.
Yes.
Does it get better?
So we did the second stage and it got kind of better. Like it wasn't throwing as much at you.
It's almost as if they wanted to try to do this whole like, oh, well, boom, you're in the game. Like, wow, look at all this, look at all that. This is great, isn't it?
Right.
Isn't it? And you're just like, oh my gosh, this
I
is too
want to
much.
just play the level that I'm in. What is going on?
Let me run.
And it is so the problem the problem that you described in the Mario game with the camera system, infinitely worse in the Sonic game. Like, so we started up, the three of us, me, you, your fiance, and as we're playing the game, so with the Mario game, you had that anchor character, and anytime one of the other characters went off screen, if they're far enough off screen, they'll get turned into a ghost, shoot back to the center, and all that fun jazz. In Sonic, the second you're off screen, your character does not exist in the world anymore.
Gone.
You have to give it a second, and then you'll see an icon at the bottom where you can press the A button to respawn your character back in the world. You know the problem with that? Especially compared to Mario? You see, Mario as a platformer, yes, there is like a speed element to Mario, but that's not really the focus of Mario. Like mostly it's the platforming, and generally speaking, you're standing still long enough that as a ghost. Also, you turn into a ghost, so you kind of get back on screen, and you just got to touch the lead character, the main, the anchor character, and you kind of pop back in. The problem with a Sonic game is gotta go fast,
You
bro.
gotta go fast. You're speeding through this level, or at least you're trying to.
You're trying to speed through the level when it's not warping you somewhere.
Killing everybody that's not keeping up.
Yes.
Literally. If you're not keeping up with the anchor character, you will get left behind. And because obviously the camera's only following one character, and kind of the thing about the other thing about Sonic level design is there's usually multiple paths and multiple branching paths you can go on, and you can wind up on a branching path by accident if you just happen to jump at the right moment. So you jump, you wind up on a different path than the anchor character, the anchor player, and that player is now in like a autos, like they love throwing you in like auto rails and auto like loops and shit. And so now you're on this path, they're on this path, camera's following them, so you get thrown off screen whether you meant to or not. You're now off screen, you press A to get back in, and you're immediately back off screen because your character spawns in with none of the speed or momentum as the anchor character. So So you like just pop up in the world and immediately are off camera again, and you're immediately back in the same state you were.
It's a death loop.
Yes.
It's a death loop.
Literally, quite literally.
Luckily, like the one saving grace is that you don't lose lives because of this. Like you're not like losing lives or anything, but
like beep, 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 beep.
it means you're not playing the game.
Yeah.
You're just not the one playing the game,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like
a race to be the anchor person, because once you're the anchor person, you're fine.
you're golden.
You just speed through the level, but then it's like, okay, nobody else is playing with you because you're trying to speed through the level and get like a good score.
It like hits the point of like, what's the point of even having multiple people in here?
Yeah.
And
Did you try single player at all?
We
Well-
never got around to it. Did you ever get around to it?
Not a single player, but
Yeah.
I can tell you, after that first experience, after my fiance had to leave, me and Ruben played another couple levels. It was significantly better,
It was.
but it's
At least in the
still-
sense of like you weren't being bombarded with shit all over
Yes.
the place.
but it still wasn't great.
It was not. Like it still had the same problem of if one character already has control of the camera, you either have to follow their movements exactly or you're just not getting back on screen until they stop. So that problem still persisted no matter what. It didn't like that first impression just didn't help. Like that first impression was so we were just like, I just don't even want to play this right now anymore.
Like it has all the elements to be a great game. It really does, because those special stages are really cool, and it's a nice callback to some of the
a lot of them
original
were like
Sonic games.
Yeah.
It's just don't take me entirely out of the experience of the level every 10 seconds.
Don't
Like,
forget what I play a Sonic game for.
Yeah.
Like I'm playing the entire reason you're doing this particular Sonic game is because Sonic Mania happened and everybody loved Sonic Mania. What was it about Sonic Mania everybody loved? It was a callback to classic Sonic game. It was like straight up just a classic Sonic game. God, SEGA Sonic Team, keep your hands off shit.
I know that it's kind of taboo nowadays, but they could do split screen.
So here's the funny bit. When we were like, I'm not feeling the, but actually this was before your fiance tapped out. We played the battle mode.
Yeah, we did.
Guess what the battle mode's in?
Split screen?
Yes!
It's
in 4-player split screen.
It had the element. It had all the elements to make it good. But they put them in the wrong places. Literally everything. They put everything in the wrong places. Split screen should have been in the main level.
Should have been in the main level. Let me just fucking play split screen. And have everything in a single, if everybody's on the same screen, of course do that. But the second somebody's off the screen, don't like remove my character, put me in split screen.
Yeah.
But like whatever
I
reason,
wouldn't do that. I don't know. I would find the transition from full screen to split screen.
Could be a
to
little
be jarring.
And it could get a little difficult, but you could also do kind of Smash Brothers where it zooms out, so everybody's in screen, but they're just.
It could be. That's an option, but I can see why on something like a platformer where you want to have a limited field of view and you want to focus on your specific area. Because
but if you're mostly keeping up with each other, having it zoom out a little bit probably wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
But.
That wouldn't be a problem. And I think the biggest thing, and me and you talked about this while we were playing, the biggest problem is that it seemed like the multiplayer was much more of an afterthought than it was in Mario. Like it feels like they developed Sonic Superstars, got wind of Mario being a multiplayer game, and like near the end of development was like, we got to make it multiplayer. We can't put this out as single player. When it's like, no, you super can. You actually could.
I feel like all the previous like Mario, I don't know the names of them, like the 2D analog with multiplayer. Those all had multiplayer.
They all had multiplayer.
And they were big for that. Like,
But I think in this particular instance is that the Sonic game came out not long after Mario Wonder. Like they were both coming out at competing times.
Yeah.
But like Mario, shit, from like the inception
like
had
it could be a deciding
multiplayer.
factor. Like if you buy Sonic versus Mario for your kids, right? Like, am I going to be able to play with them? Or am I going to be able to do it together? That makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like, if that being the case, if you're gonna do multiplayer, you have to. It's a thing of like they had competing design philosophies. Like the level design did not support multiplayer. Like it just doesn't support multiplayer.
Like
Say it again.
At least update it later.
right?
Yeah.
Maybe they will. I doubt it. Like, I don't think they're gonna update
Almost
that level
certainly
design.
not.
But it's like,
Much like Clark's End and Baldur's Gate, it's lost to time now.
right?
Yeah.
Time and funds.
Like, yeah, it's. I don't know.
Unless you're a CPT popcorn patron.
Mons?
Anyway.
He just went on a mental tangent. I have no idea what that was about.
You can if you want.
I could. We can find out later.
But
Yeah. So Sonic Superstars is.
it's a game
It
that
is a game.
exists.
It is a game. I'm gonna give it a shot. Completely single player at some point, but
Yeah.
even then, like, it's doing the thing of like you have to collect to unlock like more stages. You have to collect certain like currencies in the earlier stages, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I just want to play my Sonic game, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tragedy.
Like, it is. It continues to be the most annoying shit, and it becomes clearer. I say it becomes clear. Like, this has been clear since like
We watched that tool-assisted speedrun.
I love test runs so much.
Of Sonic, and I finally got why
Mm-hmm.
there's such a passionate Sonic fan base.
Yeah, like Sonic, especially classic 2D Sonic games, played at high level, and not even high level, because like obviously a task run is like the perfect run. It is a computer run, but even just watching like regular speedrunners, or even just playing that game yourself and being able to run through there, there's such a like satisfying high when you play Sonic games at high speed. Because literally, Sonic was created because of speedrunning Mario. That's quite literally where Sonic came from. And so there's such a satisfying thing when you're able to go through. And when Sonic Identity was just about being fast, that was like the best Sonic has ever been. And now I love the 3D games. I do love the 3D games. Like, one of my favorite Sonic games of all time is Sonic Colors.
Sonic Colors is good. My favorite Sonic Unleashed. I love Sonic Unleashed. Colors is great too. Honestly, I love all 3D ones, but
Yeah.
I don't know. The music slaps.
Music always
And
good.
Colors too, but Unleashed was like, I don't know, the whole thing for me. I went through a whole music phase with Unleashed like no other, and that all those cutscenes and stuff, like especially that opening cutscene
They're really
for
nice.
Unleashed,
Mm-hmm.
it still holds up. It's
pretty
still really good.
It's pretty good.
It's still
pretty
one of the
good.
best opening cutscenes I think I've ever seen in a Sonic game.
My favorite Sonic is the Chameleon, voiced by Matthew Mercer.
Does he voice Espio?
Oh.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
No shit.
I'm 98% sure. Yeah.
Do you know particularly what where he voiced him in?
I don't know enough about Sonic just enough from my head. I just remember we were watching cutscenes of a game, and they were in a headquarters, and I was like, "That's Matthew Mercer. That's fucking Matthew Mercer."
Matt Mercer.
Yeah, let's. Wow.
He was. I'm just more curious what game he was in. He only did like 2 to 3 lines in that game. They just reused the rest of Troy. Oh, did Troy Baker voice SBO mostly? None of that. Yeah, that's Troy Baker, isn't it?
That's the most effeminate shot of Matthew Mercer I've ever seen.
It honestly is. Yeah, it looks like he's the most recent iteration of SBO. I'm assuming Frontier. Either Frontier or
Is he in Front?
I can't find it either.
See, I haven't played Frontier, but I kind of.
I haven't played Frontier. I've had Frontier downloaded since that game came out. I just haven't played it yet. I'm going to. Like, I hear it's okay. I actually hear it's pretty good, except for the popping in and out in the world.
Yeah, I heard it was really, really good. I don't know.
Like, literally, I just mostly just haven't had time and the gumption to sit down and play it.
I think it reminds me so much of Breath of the Wild, which is another series that I have not played.
That's crazy to me because I love that series.
It looks great. It just, I don't know. It looks like a time sink.
It is. It is a time sink.
I don't know how much time I have in my life right now for
You
another
haven't played
time
Breath of the
sink.
Wild at all?
Nope.
We're not friends anymore.
Again, it looks great. Zelda for me, I like Zelda. I am terrible at the games.
I love the
I've
sense.
always
Always
been
to
terrible.
back it up with action. Otherwise, I just can't.
I can't
accept you.
Like, y'all don't see it because I don't have anything out here. It's all in my office right now. Like, I have my Master Sword hanging up on the wall. I used to rock Zelda. Like, I used to have a Zelda chain that was the Dark Link Master Sword and healing shit. Like, literally a letter opener that you can pull out.
Yep, I
I
remember
used
that.
to-
Remember that?
Yep.
You wore that shit.
I wore that shit to school all
Every
the time.
day.
It's still around here somewhere. I think it's like on my one of my computer
I
desks.
actually think I remember putting it on one of those.
Yeah, that's right. It might be up there.
counters or dressers. Yeah.
My wallet was a Zelda thing with a metal Zelda emblem.
You
With a
told a
metal
story
Triforce
about
emblem.
figuring out that the sword was removable. Like it was one of the most pivotal moments in your life.
It kind of was because I think it was awesome. Literally being able to take the sword out anytime people freaked over that necklace. I love that necklace so much. But put that back in.
Bring it back.
I might bring it back. I might start wearing it for the podcast again. One of my first tattoos is going to be the Triforce. Like I already know exactly what I want. I just need to find out if and when I can get UV ink to make it glow. I'm a Zelda guy. I am a Zelda guy.
Absolutely.
So like living with a guy who has not played Breath of the Wild or any Zelda game, like a lot of Zelda games for that matter, is wild. But I also understand. I do get it. Like Breath of the Wild is a time sink.
Yeah, just seeing you guys play it and like all of like the like you and Fluff like talk strategy all the time. It's like,
Right.
I went through that dungeon or that cave and got this and that and the other thing, but I think I'm missing something. Like, oh no, check out this cave on the other side of the map.
That's where you're supposed to go get that piece of armor and all that fun jazz.
Yeah.
It's such a great game because like it is meant for somebody like me who's an explorer. I love exploring in games. I love just being able to like just put me in the map and just let me go and let me go figure it out. And it is absolutely that. The caveat being that it means that you're spending a ton of time just exploring the map.
It has to be a game that you're willing to sit down and just chill.
Yeah.
Like, which is why I haven't finished it yet. 'Cause I'm out here talking shit, but
He's
I
talking
made
a lot
it
of shit.
like 30% into the game so far. Like,
Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild?
Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, okay.
Breath of the Wild I never finished either.
That's your ADHD.
Yeah.
But that was me with every single Zelda game though.
You would sit down and just...
I would get it, I'd sit down, I'd play maybe like the first quarter of it, and then I'd get stuck. I would specifically get stuck. It's not just that like, I just didn't want to play anymore, I didn't have time. I would just get stuck every time.
It was like
no matter what game it was.
you need the thing, but you don't know where to get.
You don't know where to get the thing at.
Yep, and I never looked up stuff. That was another
That's
thing
fair.
that I never did in my childhood. I never thought to really go and research how to get past something because I wanted to try to figure it out on my own, but I did not have the dedication to sit and try 80 million different things to figure it out.
It's funny you mention that because I actually hated the Zelda series when I first played it.
Really?
I hated the Zelda series. The first Zelda games I ever played were the Oracle games, Oracle of Ages and Seasons for the Game Boy Color. The exact problem you just defined of you get through, and literally it was like both of them. You get through like the first 3 dungeons and then you're just stuck because you can't figure out what to do because there's like, it's always, for whatever reason, like the 2D Zelda games all had like, minus like Zelda 2 had like the same formula of you do the first, like you're kind of railroaded through the first couple dungeons and then there's like a random event in the world you have to go like witness and then you continue like to go through more dungeons and shit. And it was always at that point. I would get to that point and I could not tell what to do after that.
Yeah.
Hated the games. And this was when I was like 7 or 8.
Yeah. And the thing is like I was vibing with the game all the way up until that point, and then that would just leave a sour taste in my mouth, and I would just drop the game entirely.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know about you guys, but there's always shit in games that like I just don't interact with because it doesn't interest me, and then like I'll be like, why can't I progress? And I'll Google it, and it's like, oh yeah, you have to talk to so and so, and I'm like, oh,
I didn't want to do that though.
now this looked really fucking boring.
You mean I actually have to go talk to every NPC? Like, yeah, like that, like, no, that definitely happens a lot. The thing that like got me into Zelda was like for most people, Ocarina of Time.
Yep.
I played Ocarina of Time, and the way that that's structured, the way it's set up is a little bit more linear. And that is what kicked off my love for Zelda. Ended up going back to those old games. Those are now 2 of my favorite Zelda games, particularly in the 2D space. and like kind of learned how Zelda really operates and like kind of how that goes, and like also started to learn more about like how like games are structured. Like I think I was like 10 or so when I finally got back around to playing Zelda again. But yeah, like just kind of fell in love with the series ever since, and it like has just been one of my like big three. Like my big three is like Zelda, Pokemon, and Sonic had like been my big three for years. Loved like those three. If you gave me no other video games and just said I can only have those three, I'd be happy.
But good, yeah.
That's all I need.
Yeah, I was a huge Nintendo stan too. Still am. But like, yeah, Sonic, Mario, and shoot, I think that was honestly it. Just played a whole bunch of Mario and Sonic games. Zelda every now and then, but really it was just Mario and Sonic.
That's
really
fair.
It. Ocarina of Time, I played that. Wind Waker, I played
Wind
that.
Waker's
That was
good.
really good. Again, all these I didn't get far in because I got stuck, but they were fun. And Twilight Princess, I think I had. Is that for the Wii?
GameCube and Wii.
Yeah, Wii and GameCube.
I think I had that for the Wii. Yeah, also fun. Didn't get far. And I think that might be it. I think I had the one on the DS where it was like the four. You were a 4 Tomb Links.
Oh, Four Swords.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, Four Swords Adventures. I think was DS specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my phone.
I actually think I got pretty far in that one actually. But had that one. That's the last one I remember having. But yeah. Good stuff. But Sonic Adventure 2 Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Oof.
That was great. I love Sonic SA2 Battle. Like that game gets a lot more flack in recent years from like game critics because they're like you only really like a third of that game and it was always the Sonic sections. Yeah, but they were great sections. Like I don't care what you say, they were great.
And the Shadow set, come on now, you can't sleep on Shadow.
Well, that's what they're saying. Like it's the speed gaming is all you really cared about. It's like, yeah, did I hate the Knuckles section? Yeah, sure did.
Did I still do them to get to the Sonic sections?
Yeah, sure did. Do I know that fucking Knuckles rap by like fucking heart just from playing that game? Sure do. Like, God, that game is great. And I don't care what anybody says. That game is fantastic. And honestly, the Child Garden, I'm still amazed to this day has not made a comeback anywhere.
Right?
Like,
you would
to
think
this
that,
day.
that gameplay style would appeal to so many people.
The hilarious part is that it probably does. And Sega's just super allergic to money. As far as we know.
The way they've been acting recently? Absolutely.
It's like, y'all just don't like money, apparently. Because you could put out just the Child Garden as a mobile app.
Honestly, I'd play it.
I would play the extra ever-loving hell
I'd play
out
the
of
crap out of that.
Right? I would
raise my
absolutely
Chow,
play it.
have him race against all of my other friends' Chows.
Dude, like, I would say,
I pulled a triple S chow.
Yeah.
honestly, yeah, like I'll do loot box chows as much as I hate it.
I'll
still
feed him
do
all
it.
the power stones so he could beat the ever-loving
Correct,
shit
right?
out of anybody in the ring.
Give me that chow karate, bro. Like,
Go get him, Banana Puff. Beat him up.
let us get rid of.
It's all like you could make them look like Sonic or Knuckles depending on what
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did that.
kind of stuff.
The last time I did a 180 emblem like full game run, I used that same file to start doing stuff like that. So I had like obviously the Angel and Devil Chow, the mid Chow. I never got one to evolve. That was the hard one. I never got that to happen.
Where they
Where they go back into the egg form and come back.
do the chrysalis thing.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, no, I got that to happen because that's how you get the Angel and Devil Chow.
Yeah.
There's another one I want to say. There's like another evolution after that. It doesn't create a new form, but it like resets you back with like all of your upgrades so you can get them to even higher.
Oh, so it's like
It's like a
vaguely
rebirth or
remember,
something like that, yeah.
A reincarnation thing where
That
do
reincarnation.
they rehatch out of the egg?
They rehatch out of, I want to say they do.
I can't remember.
Neither can
Yeah,
I.
it's been so long.
I'll have to look it up again, but like there's a ton you can do with that.
Yeah.
And I only did so much, but
And the black market.
Oh, the black market. I always felt terrible going in there. I was a pure kid. So I always felt terrible.
That's
Like,
that's the only market.
oh my
though.
God. Why am
Well,
I
I mean,
here?
it
I
would
shouldn't
make
be
sense feeling bad going into a market where your people are sold.
here.
That would suck.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
would actually suck.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh,
You. But
sorry, making space because
no, you're good.
my camera decided to stop annoyingly.
Sonic Adventure 2 was the game that got me to get a GameCube because I had a Nintendo 64 and then we had a house party and one of our family friends, they had a GameCube and they brought over theirs and also brought Sonic Adventure, Battle 2. The name slipped my mind for a second. But he brought it over and that whole entire party, I was just stuck playing that. I could not
look
away. And that night, I was like, guys, Mom, Dad,
I need one.
I need it. I need it. I was literally SpongeBob with the water. I don't need it. I need it. And I don't know why they did it, but that night, we went to Best Buy and got it.
Nice.
What?
And
Okay,
to this day, I know,
take this
like me
boy
as an
Hold
adult,
on.
upstairs.
I would never.
Right?
I'd be like, okay, for Christmas, later. Yeah, I'd be like, for Christmas, later, sure, but not right now. But no, they got it for me that night.
That
So,
night.
yeah, I'm
God,
very
I wish.
thankful to them for that, actually. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for that. But no, that's what kickstarted the GameCube. So, yeah.
Nice.
I don't know. It's just a funny story because it's like, I don't know. I
No,
instant
still
fell in love, and boom,
Yeah.
GameCube.
No, that's fair. My brother's the one who had a GameCube. My dad's oldest son, he had a GameCube, and so like at the time, like sometimes he would live with us, sometimes he would live with his mom. And this was just one of those particular times he was living with us, and he was going to school, so he had his GameCube, and so that's how I got to play like SA2 Battle, the original Sonic Adventure. That's how I got to play Wind Waker. Was my first time playing that. Yeah, dude, I wanted a GameCube.
Wind Waker was GameCube?
Yeah, Wind Waker was like, yeah. Wind Waker was like 2001.
I was 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's a young boy. He's a youngin'.
Yeah, I guess I was
Me and you were like,
10, 11, 12.
wait, hold on.
Damn, y'all old.
Yeah, we are old.
12, yeah, I would have been 12.
Yeah, me and you were about, I would have been 11.
Jeez.
Sorry, 2002.
2002.
Didn't
In
have to
North
get beat with
America in 2003.
Yeah, I was 6 then.
Yeah.
About to turn 7.
Um,
But
do I finally have to delete my music folder? I might have to actually do that. And I'm listening to any of the music on this phone anyway. That's probably what's taking up so much.
yeah,
Sprizzer.
that's
probably a slur in some language. I'm gonna stop saying it now.
Stop saying
yeah.
Sprizzer.
Continues to say
You
it.
keep saying it.
But yeah, that's the lowdown on some of the games that I've been playing recently. And right now, I'm in the middle. Well, at the very beginning, actually, of playing the Super Mario RPG, the remake that came out for the Switch.
Ooh.
So yeah,
How was that?
that's been fun so far. Again, I only played maybe like an hour and a half of it so far. So, but I love Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. That was the first
That's
kind of like
pretty
RPG Mario and Luigi game that I played. And then Bowser's Inside Story I played as well. Absolutely love those. So
That is one series I've not gotten into. I've not had a chance to play any of the RPG series.
so good.
I heard
It is so
I
fun.
heard it's really good.
Yeah, I had a blast. That was for the DS.
Is Thousand Year Door kind of?
Paper Mario.
That's
Thousand
Paper
Year
Mario,
Door.
but it is basically like so. Paper Mario is technically the continuation of Mario RPG.
Yeah.
That is pretty much what it became, and then come Game Boy Advance, I think was when they started with the Mario Luigi series.
That sounds right.
I think so. So like that, it like did a weird like went away and then came back But yeah, they're all in the same like RPG vein.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's always hear good thing about that series. All good things about that series.
Yeah, no, for sure. I hope. Well, maybe I don't. I still have yet to play out the rest of this remake to see how it really goes.
Mm-hmm.
But I was gonna say I hope they bring it back, like Partners in Time or something in a way. But then again, maybe I hope they don't. Maybe I just hope they port it. Maybe that's what I hope.
That would be nice.
Because I'd love to play through that again. But I don't know how they do that because it was for DS. So they have to like do a split screen type thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a lowdown on games I played and what I'm playing. So you'll probably hear some updates the next couple
More than
sessions.
likely. Yeah. More than likely. I'm sure they'll get to find out about all the wonderful games we play. Find out about all the shiny hunting I do in Pokemon. Like I've been shiny hunting like crazy the last like month or so. Just trying to get prepared for the new DLC in Pokemon Scarlet Violet to come out.
As opposed to when?
Fair. As opposed to like all the other times I shiny hunt with absolutely no fucking with no real like reason as to why I do it.
Whenever I knock on your door, oh, it's Pokemon again.
Yeah, there's Pokemon on the screen.
Oh, he's doing the duplication bridging with the wild. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I made all use of that dupe glitch. I love that dupe glitch. I was not about to. See, that's the crazy part, though, is like my final hour count in Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm technically still not done, but I still got like that 0.98% left to find on the map, and I just haven't had the will or the power to do it. But like, I'm at like, you're gonna go take care of the boy?
Yeah, one second.
Just gonna, you could just put him in your room, I think. But oh well.
No, he will definitely bark.
Yeah, he's
There's
super will.
no way he'd be quiet.
He's super will. Yeah, Gizmo gets kind of needy. He gets a little much if you're not paying enough attention to him when he wants you to.
He will force himself upon you.
He will.
Just like he did earlier.
Just like he did earlier. And it's crazy because he was like super good about it last week, but sometimes it happens.
Sometimes it's just not enough.
He's getting old. His anxiety and stress is peaking out. But we're almost done. We're almost done recording. It'll be okay. Oh, excuse me. Oh, man, we've been going. God, we're at 146 minutes. We're at an hour. 106 minutes technically.
Close, yeah.
Yeah, we're at almost 2 hours. What was I saying? Oh yeah, my final hour count in Breath of the Tears of the Kingdom. I think I'm sitting at like a little over 200 hours.
Yeah.
And that's without grinding for rupees, grinding for money like they want you to. Like that was me like essentially cheating my way into this.
Really?
Does that make it down here?
A little bit, but I don't know if it's making it to the mic or not.
At the same time, we could probably.
I don't know why I said that like y'all can't see it on the camera.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably just like, we can noise.
I can noise cancel that out.
Reduction it
I'm going
out.
to put this back upstairs and walk far from you.
Well, if you're doing it, put it down to 5 anyway.
Use the high pass.
Say it again.
Use the high pass. Use the low pass.
Use the low pass.
Use the EQ.
Use the EQ. Yeah, no, I can figure that out later in post.
Yeah. I think the game that I have the most hours in is probably, and I'll explain it, is probably
Your mom.
my mom, but CSGO.
Really?
Yeah, Counter-Strike Global.
What?
Offensive? Yeah, and that's mainly because when I was working at my previous job, every day when we had lunch break, we would all play it as an office together.
That's fair.
So for 4 to 5 years straight, every day, almost every day, I put in maybe like 30 minutes to an hour of CSGO, and that shit adds up.
Yeah, no, that adds up quickly.
Yeah. So
Damn, boy.
It's funny because in the same vein, if I had to take a game and like, if I had to guess what game I technically have the most hours played in, it would probably be RuneScape. For Not, I was going to say more or less the same reasons, but no, because this is back when I was a teenager with literally nothing else to do. But the amount of hours I would just put into RuneScape literally every day. And then, so basically there was like a 7-year period. Yeah, there was like a period of like 7 years where I played that game literally every day for at least 3 to 4 hours.
Wow.
And I mean every day. Monday through fucking Sunday. Like,
I think the game I had the most hours in would probably be Hyper Light Drifter.
oh yeah?
Yeah. I have seen you play that a lot. Like on the screen or just on your...
You ready for Hyper Light Breaker?
I'm fucking pumped. I am really... I haven't been following it actively, but I saw the trailer a couple years ago and I was excited then. And I'm excited now. I'm excited now.
It's fucking... It looks really good. It's a series I've been meaning to get around to play. I have not played it yet, but I definitely will. It does look very good.
I bought it twice, so...
That's fair. That's how you know you like something.
Yeah.
The double dip. It's like the biggest indicator that someone's into something. Like I bought... Because I mean, I had Sonic Mario Mania. I had Sonic Mania on the Switch first, and then I bought it again for the PC. Because I really like Sonic Mania, but a lot of it is like the mod scene is nuts on PC, and I love it. So that's something I really need to do is like get a bunch of Mania mods and play through those and see how that goes. That was a long conversation about video games. We'll definitely probably have more video games, but before we end this recording,
Me?
time for another installment of Manhwa with Fluffy.
Yay! This time we're only gonna do one.
This time we're only going to do one.
But it'll
Where
be a fun deep dive.
was it? Is it here? That it is right here. So this one we got is called I'm an Evil God. Wu Wei Shi Di. Among the various realms is the manliest and most handsome evil god.
What a perfect first sentence.
Perfect first sentence. Among the various realms is the manliest and most handsome evil god in history. The peerless and handsome Shi Yan crosses over and falls into the Vixen's lair. In order to be drained of his entire life force, he travels between various realms, cuts down the Son of God, and repels an invading union hailing from across the ocean. This is the story of how he eventually became an evil god. Oh, in order not to be drained of his entire life force. So dude falls into...
He cuts down Jesus?
He cuts down Jesus, apparently. So apparently dude falls into a succubus's lair, that sounds like, and...
It's not a succubus. Remember last time we were talking about a cultivation or Miram genres. You can transfer spiritual energy.
Oh. That sounds like a succubus.
Yeah. So it's a you wake up in another world style thing, and so he wakes up in the body of somebody who got seduced by. Basically, he wakes up in the body of somebody who has like this body that's very good for cultivation. Right?
Fantastic.
And so this chick who's in this this evil sect is like, you have
A body.
that body, and I can steal that body by fucking you. So she seduces him and is literally sucking like his body and his power from him. And so he wakes up in this guy who's basically almost dead because he's been sucked dry.
You know, some men get all the fucking luck.
It should have been me!
And he's like, fuck, I'm gonna fucking die. What do I do? And he gets a system. In this instance, the system lets him travel to lower worlds within like the universe in order to like do things there. It also helps him with like cultivation, stuff like that. But so it's sort of this ping-ponging that happens between this story that takes place in this main world, and then sub stories that take place in these lower worlds, where he goes back and forth between the two of them, and it's really, really good. I thought I was gonna freaking hate it, right? I thought I was just gonna because all of the pictures of the I put off reading this for the longest time because the most of the pictures are the guy sitting on like a throne with some like chick like straddling lamp on his lap, and I was like, that looks not fun to read. It looks like it's gonna be like harem. It looks like it's gonna be unapologetic about that shit. It's actually really fucking good. There's like a little bit of like harem-y stuff, but it's really like well written and like romance stuff. One of the guy's abilities is like if somebody falls in love with him, he gets to basically make a copy of them and then like make a clone of them and use their powers.
Useful.
So
some would say.
There are situations in lower worlds where that works itself out. There's situations in the main world where that works itself out. But he really plays the archetype of like he's a trickster. He like is very, very strategic and clever, and they play that out really well in the story. And it's really, really fun to read. There are moments in this manhwa where I have almost fucking cried. I've been like on the verge of tears. Yeah. Like most of the time when I read shit like this, it's like dopamine, it's like to you're just reading it to like because the main character's always gonna fucking win and everything good is always gonna happen. Like this shit has almost made me cry, and I come back to it consistently. The translations are not super well done. This is one that I almost like went to like a scanlation company that was like not doing so well. I was like, hey, maybe I'll give you some money if you like.
I will pay if you make this better.
But I don't really have that much money. I can't really do that. But because it's from China, so the translations are at times challenging, especially when they're talking about really esoteric discussions of different people's magical martial arts abilities and how they compare, and it's like a paragraph that's like this big, and you're like,
gotta love those explanations.
Fortunately, that only happens like 2 or 3 times in what is like hundreds of chapters. So, yeah, but if you can get past that, you're golden. It's really, really fun to read. There is some like weirdness in because he maintains a relationship with the woman who was trying to steal his
the Vixen's
Bombay.
lair.
The Vixen, yeah.
Okay.
The Vixen, because they fucked, so now they're married.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Okay, yeah.
Like,
Of course.
Listen, children. Whatever camera
All the
I'm pointing
cameras.
at. If you stick your penis in it, you're not married, and that's really just how it works.
That's the law.
Sorry, if you don't want to be married to her, you better not stick it in.
Government.
That's the government says so.
Yep. Look it up.
So after he like attains a position where he's no longer entirely controlled by this woman, he's like a full member of his stick. They still maintain this like very sexual, weird, like marital relationship where they hate the shit out of each other. No, that's the sect leader.
Interesting.
She is awesome. I wanted for the longest time for her to be the primary love interest, but they're not gonna do it.
Fair.
They're not gonna do it.
That sucks.
But so they like a lot of times it doesn't really make sense. It feels like, at least from my perspective, my culture, I would cut that bitch off, but but they still, in the end, they still make it work, and it's very good.
Fair enough.
Yeah, this is one that I don't know if everybody would enjoy, but I always want to recommend to everybody when they're like, "What should I read? What's something that people are sleeping on?" Right.
Right.
This one I think is very, very, very good.
How long has it been running for?
It's probably been running for a very long time. I want to say we're on chapter
Jesus
400,
Christ.
Yeah, 482.
Wow.
482 chapters. Is it like a weekly thing or?
This one's weekly. Sometimes it'll be 1 or 2 chapters a week, but usually it's just one.
So you're looking at somewhere around like, what is that? Like 8-9 years? Somewhere between like 7 to 9 years.
Yeah, if it's consistent, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want more people in the United States of America to follow cultivation and read cultivation stories because I love them and I want more of them.
That's fair. And the only way we can do that is to get proper scans and scanlations going. That sounds really interesting.
I gotta like write all of these like legit like and start reading them.
Right. Like I still got some of them. I got some of them saved up here from like last week and this week.
Yeah, like I used to be like, I'm not gonna say super into like web comics and stuff. They weren't like manga or anything like that. They were just like stupid, like random comics, like cartoons, cartoons and just like fan made stuff, but not the kinky stuff. So there was that.
Dojinji.
Yeah. But I don't know. I used to be on, certain sites reading a lot of different extra, lore and extra fan stuff. So I think this is a good way to get back into that because these look really fun.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about it some other day, but if anybody ever wants like baby's first cultivation story, Marshall Peak is a really good one.
Marshall Peak. Let's take a look at his herb. Martial Peak is in like martial law, martial arts.
Yeah.
What is cultivation?
So, cultivation is a variation of fantasy martial arts. So you know how like in Western like storytelling, you have like magicians, right? You have like wizards. Usually maybe like swordsmen, and there's typically like a division between those two. Magicians use their magical power. Cultivation doesn't really do that. You just have magic fighting powers, and it's sort of like maybe there was witchcraft and stuff that was like existed in our culture. It's their taking of like stuff that existed in their culture and making it fantasy, whatever proportion, and so. Cultivation stuff typically centers around a little bit more Chinese storytelling, and it
Sorry, didn't mean to distract you.
Trying to figure out just a minute. Basically, you're in a world that's filled with spiritual energy, and you are, in some capacity, absorbing it into yourself and making yourself more powerful. And typically, there's also a pursuit of like immortality or longevity that comes along with that. Yeah, like key. But the thing about cultivation, right, is it takes that shit and it cranks it like up to 11. And it's kind of hard to explain because there's a very it's almost always a high magic setting if you think about like a high magic versus a low magic setting. Like cultivation, it's a high magic setting. Oftentimes it'll incorporate ideas from like Journey to the West, where there's like the heavenly palace. I'm actually probably not a great person to talk about like what specifically defines a cultivation because I've learned everything I've learned just from like reading different stuff. So I'm not like an academic on this,
Fair.
But at least in my experience, that's what I've seen. So, yeah. And they're really, I really like reading them because they are like these sort of like never-ending adventures, right? They're a lot like what's the shonen?
Yeah.
They're a lot like shonen, where they're like these like never-ending adventures where there's always like a next thing. There's always a next.
There's always another threat looming in the shadows type thing.
Yeah.
There's always someone stronger at every turn.
You're like, this level is the level where everybody's powerful, and then you get to that level and you find out there's this.
Nope, there's actually another level on top of that.
But the power scaling is typically like, because of the nature of the setting, I think power scaling typically makes sense, and there's shit like ascending worlds, right? Which means there's like an isolation between those different powers and stuff like that. But I also just find them very, very interesting. I like them a lot.
Fair. I think one of these days we will do I think we kind of have to do a deep dive on Marshall Peak now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were
Not
looking.
tonight.
We were looking at it, and we scrolled down.
3,636 chapters.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
How long has this been going?
It's usually a chapter a day.
A day?
Okay.
So
I mean, that's like 10 years. But still.
if you love shit with high quality art and excellent storytelling and compelling characters, don't read Marshall Peak.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh,
Fair enough.
Marshall Peak is really fun reading, but it is very simple. The art, because like they were kicking out a chapter a day, the art is not the best stuff on planet Earth, but I've always had fun reading it. Something you can pick up and put down. In each chapter you can probably read in like 2 minutes. So it's something you can really, really like crank through.
so like super short kind of stories.
Yeah, or just like each chapter. If you think about an episode of One Piece and how much an episode of One Piece contributes to the story,
Yeah.
each chapter of Marshall Peak is very similar typically.
Okay.
But each chapter of Marshall Peak is very quick to get through. Unlike in One Piece.
Okay,
It's
fair
not
enough.
like One Piece. No, that's fair. That is very fair.
Fair.
Yep.
This shit is harem to the extreme. So if you don't like that, you're not gonna like it. Like I think it ends up with like 7 wives or something like that.
Some men have all the fucking love. It should have been me. Why not me? Why not me? No. I wouldn't be able to handle 7 wives.
No.
No.
Wouldn't happen.
But yeah, like if you want to know about the trappings of the genre, like how the martial arts systems typically work, what does it mean to like ascend a different world? What are the different planes of existence? Like Marshall Peak has a very, very consistent setting. It has a lot of like really interesting power leveling and stuff. The shit that the reason I like got hooked on this, right, and that I was like, whoa, this is like nothing I've ever read before. I forget what it is. There's something in like the first 10, 15 chapters or something where our main character starts out living in a fucking wedding shack, right?
Yeah.
Like he is sweeping the steps of the sect.
Yep.
Right.
That's what it mentions.
He fucking isn't good for shit. Right. But like everybody else, he works really hard. He's very consistent. Eventually, he gets his opportunity to start to grow in power, and he starts to grow in power. And of course, being somebody who's on the bottom rung, there's somebody that looks down on him.
Right.
And eventually, this guy's like fucking, like going up to this guy. He's like, "I'm gonna kill you," and he's like, "You know what? Meet me out, fucking inside of the back. We're gonna fight." And me expecting like a kid's fight, I'm like, oh, they're gonna go out, they're gonna duke it out. MC goes out there, fucking puts a rock through his brain, kills him dead, dumps his body in the river.
Oh.
And I was like,
Okay.
what?
All right.
Hello?
Okie
And then I started thinking about it, and I was like, oh, when he said he was gonna kill him, he wasn't
meant it.
joking.
He fucking meant it.
He really meant he was gonna kill the MC. Like that was a real.
Oh, wait, no, the MC gets killed.
No, the MC kills the guy.
Oh, okay.
But the guy that was threatening the MC, it wasn't like, how when I like you might yell in a high school like, "I'm
When
gonna
people are
kill
just
you."
talking
It's
shit.
an empty threat type
Right.
of shit is literal.
Oh yeah,
Right.
no, it was you. Someone's dying right now, and
Yeah.
it either is going to be you or it's going to be me. Okay,
So like, there's a different way of thinking about like conflict and mortality that happens in this series that I thought was really interesting and that got me hooked on it.
fair enough. Are you caught up on it, or are you still working your way through
I'm
it?
caught up on it.
Wow.
I'm caught up on it.
So this is your One Piece.
This is your one.
This is like my third One Piece.
Fair enough.
all
I'm
right.
caught up on Critical Role.
This is true.
Yeah.
Almost caught up on One Piece. I'm caught up on this. Like, I crunch content. So
You do crunch content.
Yeah, that's true.
We've seen you go through Dragon Ball and Naruto. That is going to be a story for another night. All right. All right. Y'all want to leave it there?
Yeah.
Sweet.
I'm
Well,
good.
that's the end of episode 2. Everybody have a good night.
stay
Yeah.
beautiful, stay gay.
Bye.
See you guys.